Hello, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Eric. I'm back again here to bring you more of A Course in Miracles. I'm going to jump forward to the second part of the lessons and the lessons of A Course in Miracles. I was at lesson 139, 140, around in that range. And, then summer hit and I had to take a break on the channel for a little while. And then I came back. I did one lesson, which was like, if you watch that, you'll hear what I say about that. Like divinely lined up, and it was funny. I went back, but I just feel the need. I just feel the calling to move forward to the second part of the lessons, kind of more of where I'm at right now. And I know that sometimes when you read books and do courses and things like that, not all of it's going to apply necessarily. And sometimes you get more out of the later sections, or, I'm just thinking about, not only myself here and sharing what I want to share and being of service and being of God. I just want to also, I'm always thinking about how I can serve others. And when I came to it was like, I think it would be most powerful to share where I'm at currently. And, the people that resonate with that, great. People, I'm sure everyone will be able to get something out of this. And it's just where I'm at. And it means more to me to be here and bring this than it does to continue back where I was. Not that it's very valuable information. The whole course to me is valuable, or I wouldn't be obviously doing this. And I also just want to say, you can always go get this book. I put the Course in Miracles book. The link to their website is in the description below. You can either get the book, you can get it from there. I think you can find it on Amazon. You can do the course right on their website if you want to do it electronically. There's apps and different things that I have listed again in the description that also have recordings of the Course in Miracles in there. So there's all kinds of different ways you can do it. And I would highly recommend the course, obviously. So you can go and start at the very beginning and do it. And also kind of listen in here too, if you want to, or just listen to me. Whatever floats your boat. I'm just trying to explain about where I'm at and why I'm doing the things I'm doing and, how I can serve best. But ultimately, it always comes down to us. Like, we're responsible for our own lives and, what we want to do and choices we want to make, moving forward. So I think that's all I want to say to begin here. I want to jump right into this. So this is going to be part 2 of the work. It's called the workbook for students. So it's the lesson. It's the lessons basically. And if you've been following along, you know what I'm talking about. So there's just an introduction to this is very powerful. So I want to bring that today, and then moving forward, I'll be bringing the lessons. So it'll be lesson 221 is where I'll be moving forward from here. And they're shorter and more condensed. And I might be bringing them, just some of them through audio. I've already been recording some of them as I go along. And so we'll see. I definitely don't want to do just audio on the channel. I would definitely want to still do videos and everything like that. I want to do both. I think they're both powerful, and I think they're both, it works. It works sometimes. For the best, for using both, everything, technology for the best in every which way. So anyway, that being said, let's go ahead and go over this. Like I said, part 2, lessons, workbook. It's for me in this book, it's page 398. And this is the introduction. Paragraph 1, words will mean little now. You know how many times I've said this in conversations to my closer friends and what I consider my soul family, that I'm like, I just don't know what, I'm always conversating with them. I'm like, I just don't know how to explain it, but I'm having trouble finding words to describe how I'm feeling and the things that are going on with my experience in life. And, I get to this part and it just blows my mind how everything this course promises you. And as I read this, you'll hear more about that. It just comes true. It just keeps happening step by step. I always think of this thing I heard a long time ago where it's like, if you have the courage and you have, for guys or whatever, if you have the cojones to go ahead and start removing the things out of your life that aren't aligning and are actually kind of bogging you down and stressing you out. And you take a step out, but there's no step there. There's nothing there, right? And I remember this quote, and I remember this show, this podcast I used to listen to, and the guy, it was in the introduction, and the guy would say, you take that step out, and the universe will rise to support you. And you can interchange universe with God, you can, the creator, Holy Spirit, Christ, love, all this stuff is all part of this. Whatever your beliefs are, however you look at it. Words will mean little now. We use them but as guides on which we do not now depend. For now, we seek direct experience of truth alone. The lessons that remain are merely introductions to the times in which we leave the world of pain and go to inner peace. And that's exactly what I would say this course has done for me. It's made me wake up to the truth of the world and leave the world of pain and suffering and frustration. And not that I'm completely out of that world yet, but I'm more out of that world than I ever have been. And I'm more in the world of peace than I ever have been. Moving on here. Now we begin to reach the goal this course has set and find the end toward which our practicing was always geared. Paragraph 2. Now we attempt to let the exercise be merely a beginning, for we wait in quiet expectation for our God and Father. Quiet expectation, right? So this necessary quiet time we spend each day, which it'll go in and talk about that further. He has promised he will take the final step himself, and we are sure his promises are kept. We have come far along the road, and now we wait for him. We continue spending time with him each morning and at night. So here's your daily practice, and this is a necessary part of receiving, giving, and receiving and sharing. The whole 9 yards is this practice each day, and it doesn't have to be super long. And that little bit of practice will be magnified. So to go back, we will continue spending time with him each morning and at night, as long as it makes us happy. We will not consider time a matter of duration now. We use as much as we will need for the result that we desire. Okay, so you can apply yourself as much as you want to this course and to this time and this time with God. As much as you give, you'll receive even more. Has been my experience, and it talks about that somewhere here in the course. Not in this lesson or not in this part, but somewhere it talks about that. Nor will we forget our hourly remembrance in between, calling to God when we have need of him, as we are tempted to forget our goal. So there you go. There's an app. I don't even know if I have that linked in the description, but I can put that in there. There's an app you can use that you can go in. It's, I forget what it's called. And you can put hourly reminders in there, so that I have one on my phone right now that comes up every hour to remind you to think about God and think about the Creator. How do I want to proceed with my day? How do I want to proceed in this moment, moving forward each day, each hour, each moment? You can put these reminders in. And it's really starting to rain out there. Raining pretty good today out there. Hey, every day, that's the thing too. It's like every day, whether it's sunshine or rain, there's a purpose in it. Okay, paragraph 3. We will continue with a central thought for all the days to come. There will always be a theme. Every lesson has a central thought. If you followed along, you know that there's always a title to the lesson. There's always this central thought. And we will use that thought to introduce our times of rest and calm our minds at need. So that's what's happening when you use these hourly reminders and you think of God. It's calming you. It's bringing you back to what's real. It's bringing you back to truth. It's taking you out of the distractions of the world. Yet we will not content ourselves with simple practicing in the remaining holy instants which conclude the year that we have given God, because the course is a year long. I mean, the course itself is a year long, but it's a forever practice. It's going to be forever part of you. We say some simple words of welcome and expect our Father to reveal himself as he has promised. We have called on him And he has promised that his son will not remain unanswered when he calls his name. So here, when you're doing this practice and you're using it and you're speaking to God, you're speaking to the universe, you're speaking these words out, there's no doubt that he will answer you. Paragraph 4. And it comes in, to say some more on that, it comes in miraculous ways. Through people, through you for sure. You'll get downloads and intuitions and direct guidance. But also comes through everything else in your life as well. It can come through numbers. You know how many times I've seen repeating numbers on the clock and repeating? That's another thing that, start paying attention to that if you're someone, if you're like, wait, I've been seeing this. I never used to pay attention to it at all. And then I started seeing, 9-11, 10-11, 10-10, 11-11, 12-12, 12-11, like these repeating numbers all the time in my life. So I started looking into it. And that's a whole nother topic that you can look into yourself. But I truly believe it's spirit guides, angels, God, all these angelic forces and forces of love and energy in the world that are in a different realm, a dimension that we're not in right now currently. We're in the 3D dimension in the body. And this course is helping you get to a place where you can completely enjoy this space in peace. Okay, where was I? I'm sorry, I got into a lot there and I'm totally lost my spot. Let's see. Paragraph 4. I think I'm on paragraph 4. Now do we come to him with but his word upon our minds and hearts. Here's another thing. Hearts. I was thinking about this yesterday. It popped up for me and I was like, I no longer, I think part of the words will mean little now is like, you're just feeling into life. You're feeling into things instead of, just taking, like looking at something, like listening to something like the news. Hopefully you're not watching that anymore, but like, and you're just like, oh, you just believe. Like you develop this value set and this belief in the creator that it's you now are making the decisions in your life. You're not just taking information in. You're not just believing something that other people are saying. You're actually experiencing it. And I don't know if I'm explaining that good enough. Again, words will mean little now, but like, man, as you practice and go along, you'll just experience this. And once you experience it, nobody can take that away from you because you've experienced it. Our minds and hearts, and wait for him to take the step to us that he has told us through his voice he would not fail to take when we invited him. He has not left his son in all his madness, nor betrayed his trust in him. Has not his faithfulness earned him the invitation that he seeks to make us happy? We will offer it, and it will be accepted. So our times with him will now be spent. We say the words of invitation that his voice suggests, and then we wait for him to come to us. And I've experienced this. Like I have done this work. I've had my faith. I've done the course. I've done lessons. I've done a lot of things throughout my life, and now I'm starting to like see it show up everywhere. Now, so just keep doing it. I think I made another video. Just keep believing, keep having faith, keep going, no matter what it feels like, because it can feel heavy and it can feel, the world can be very distracting and all that. So just keep going, keep finding the people that are going to support you in this. Paragraph 5. Now is a time of prophecy fulfilled. Now are all ancient promises upheld and fully kept. No step remains for time to separate from its accomplishment. For now we cannot fail. Sit silently and wait upon your Father. He has willed to come to you when you have recognized it is your will he do so. And you could have never come this far unless you saw, however dimly, that it is your will. So basically what I take from that is our will is God's will. When we're aligned with that, no worries. Life will be lovely, peaceful, and bliss. It's when we get outside of that. It's when we get into the ego. It's when we get into this false self we've created and believe in illusions that life gets mucky, yucky, and doesn't feel so good. Paragraph 6. I'm so close to you, we cannot fail. Father, we give these holy times to you in gratitude to him who taught us how to leave the world of sorrow in exchange for its replacement, given us by you. We look not backward now, we look ahead and fix our eyes upon the journey's end. That's a big one that I've seen a big shift in myself. I do not look backwards. I use what was helpful from the past. I don't regret shit. I don't feel guilty. The past is the past. We're moving. We're in the present, creating the future. Accept these little gifts of thanks from us, as through Christ's vision we behold a world beyond the one we made. And take that world to be the full replacement of our own. So again, aligning with God's will, replacing what this kind of mess we've made. And maybe some of you haven't quite figured that out yet or see it yet, that, that's, maybe you're not ready. Maybe some people just aren't ready to see it. I see that a lot, and that's okay. That's okay too. Like, I can't define that for anyone. I don't know what people's, their role is here. I'm just here. I know mine now, and I want to inspire and, help people that are ready to go down that path. And also, even if you're on the fence or you're whatever, you need people, role models, to speak out and inspire. Paragraph 7. And now we wait in silence, unafraid and certain of your coming, unafraid, and we practice in silence. We have sought to find our way by following the guide you sent to us. We did not know the way, but you did not forget us. And we know that you will not forget us now. We ask, but that your ancient promises be kept, which are your will to keep. We will, with you in asking this, the Father and the Son, whose holy will created all that is, can fail in nothing. In this certainty, we undertake these last few steps to you and rest in confidence upon your love, which will not fail the Son who calls to you. There's just hammering home. There's no way to fail at this. If you're scared of failure, if you have that going on, and a lot of us have that going on, and I know, whoops, sorry about that. I hit the. You just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep. Sometimes you're gonna have to take some chances and risks in life. That's for sure, to make anything of it. Paragraph 8. And so we start upon the final part of this one holy year, which we have spent together in the search for truth in God, who is its one creator. We have found the way he chose for us and made the choice to follow it as he would have us go. His hand has held us up. His thoughts have lit the darkness of our minds. His love has called to us unceasingly since time began. It's always been there. It's Ray, that part about thoughts have lit the darkness of our minds. You know how many times I've taken myself down dark paths and believed, illusions and stuff that's not true and all that. I need to get a sip of tea. Excuse me. I need a little wet the whistle. Paragraph 9. Here we go. We had a wish that God would fail to have the Son whom created for himself. So there you go. When you're creating this and you're in your own world and you're not in alignment with God, you're wishing that God would fail, right? You're going against God's will. We wanted God to change himself and be what we would make of him. That's what the ego does. And we believe that our insane desires were the truth. Now we are glad that this is all undone. I know I am. I'm grateful every day. I wake up every day and say, thank you. Grateful to be here. How can I serve? How can I be of service to God? How can I be of service to myself, co-creating in this? How can I be of service to humanity? Did I say that sentence? Now we are glad that this is all undone and we no longer think illusions are true. The memory of God is shimmering across the wide horizons of our minds. A moment more and it will rise again. A moment more and we who are God's sons are safely home where he would have us be. Paragraph 10. Now is the need for practice almost done. For in this final section, we will come to understand that we need only call to God and all temptations disappear. So here, like, something like I was talking about the daily reminders or something. We may not even need any of that stuff. You may not even need the course per se. Might love to have it in your life. Might want to reread it. Might want to redo it. Might want to have reminders and apps and things with reminders. But, it'll be so drilled in. It'll be such a habit at this point because you've done it so much over this year of this course that it'll be your go-to. It'll be like as soon as you start feeling a little off or off track or off centered, you'll just speak to God. And you'll be drawn right back in. Instead of words, we need but feel his love. So maybe you just feel it. Like you're just connected all the time. You don't even have to speak words. It's like you're part. You guys are. You're interconnected. So you don't even have to speak words. God knows what you're thinking. Instead of prayers, we need but call his name. Instead of judging, we need but be still and let all things be healed. We will accept the way God's plan will end as we receive the way it started. I mean, think about the power in that. Here, I'm going to finish this off. Now, finish this. There's one paragraph after this sentence. Now it is complete. This year has brought us to eternity. I mean, let's go back here. We will accept the way God's plan will end as we receive the way it started. Think about the power in that, right? You are so steadfast in your belief in God and his plan. He created you. He's with you. Your life in a body will, as long as it's in alignment with God, will play out exactly as it created. You have no worries. Like there's nothing you're doing about it, right? You will leave. You will transition out of body when God, when that plan of his is complete. There's no worries. There's nothing you're doing. There's no reason to even think about this stuff anymore. A lot of this stuff has been such a weight lifted off of my shoulders. It's a new way of living. It's a completely new way of living. It's amazing. Last paragraph, paragraph 11. Where are we at here? One further use for words will still retain. From time to time, instructions on a theme of special relevance, will intersperse our daily lessons and the periods of wordless deep experience, which should come afterwards. There you go. Deep experience, right? Wordless deep experience. You won't need to really, words as much anymore. It'll just be a deep experience that you feel. These special thoughts should be reviewed each day, each one of them to be continued till the next is given you. They should be slowly read and thought about a little while. This is something I can work on. This is something I can take out of. Sometimes I'll read and I'll think and I won't sit on it long enough sometimes. So there's still a little impatience. There's these things of the ego. There's these things that are self-made. There's these instant gratification, all this kind of stuff that we do as humans that are still not completely aligned with God and completely living in the present. They should be slowly read and thought about a little while, preceding one of the holy and blessed instants in the day, which give the first of these instructions now. And then the next, what it goes into then is, this next section is based in forgiveness. What is forgiveness? And then I'll probably go over that in the next one. And then it moves into the lessons, and it does 10 lessons, and the lessons are relatively short. So you can see here, I highlight a lot, but you can see this is just one lesson right here. One lesson, two, there's 4 lessons on that. So before it was pages long. Now they're condensing it down. So, and then there's 10 in that section with the forgiveness, for what is forgiveness. And then it moves on and does another section just like that. And I think that it completes out the course that way. Pretty sure. So this is going to be fun, and this is going to be cool to do this and record this and have this footage forever recorded, saved, you know, no matter what platforms like YouTube and things do. I can always post it on other ones. I have it saved on, you know, my own drive. So it's there forever. And the cool thing me and my soul brother share sometimes is like my kid, like the power and the fact that my kids, you know, whoever really will be able to watch these one day when I'm, you know, hanging out with God and the angels and the spirit guides. Maybe I can be one of those, you know, people. That's what I'm hoping. I can be one of those guides and angels. And that's what we do here. We evolve and we continue to evolve. And then we don't need to any longer come back here anymore. And there's a new job for us. And it's like, you know, I think about that stuff and that excites me. So that's the end of today's sharing, lesson, however you want to, you know, put it. Just sharing, trying to share love, give, just do my work here. Do what I believe my function and purpose is here. And I'm going to keep going, evolving and growing, and you'll see that along on this channel. You know, heaven on earth is a choice. And if each one of us start waking up, clearing the smog, getting over into God, alignment with God and creation, I mean, we'd have such a beautiful world. There wouldn't be all the distractions and all the chaos here, you know? So that's a world I can see. Maybe some of it's necessary for growth, you know, so I question that. I don't want to keep on mumbling on here about all my thoughts, though. I have a lot of them. I think very deeply. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'll be looking forward to sharing what is forgiveness and moving on through the lessons. And the lessons don't really even per se, you know, if you're like, oh, I'm tired of forgiveness, I don't know, blah, 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 I don't want to hear about forgiveness or whatever. Like, it doesn't really like hammer home. It's, you know, let's look at the first one. Just a little glimpse into the future here. 221, peace to my mind, let all my thoughts be still. That's the main mantra of that lesson. So it's not like whatever. So I'm excited for this. I've done some of it already. Some of it I haven't. And I wanted to come back and just start moving from part 2 forward now. I hope that's okay with, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. You know, like it'll be okay with whoever tunes in, and that's fine. And whoever wants to tune out, that's fine too. So much love from me as usual. Unconditional love. Let's move towards that. That's what I want to inspire and move towards here. And I'm going to quit talking now. So until next time, I'll see you.